guys, welcome to Chef Grace's Place. Today we have a pit master. We're going to talk a little bit about barbecue. His name is John Barker, and he has a channel called Skull and Mortar. I have a lot of questions for him, so I'm trying not to make it an interrogation, but I want to start with, when do you become the master of the pit? Like, when are you the pit master? How does that work?
To be honest with you, I'm not really sure. I'm sure anybody with a grill can just say that they're a pit master. Um, me personally, I've been doing it a long time. I cooked probably every kind of meat there is almost to cook, and I've won a lot of contests, a lot of awards, and things like that. So somewhere in there, I guess I earned the title, and they just kind of went with it.
That's just such an awesome title to have. It just sounds
It
so
sounds pretty cool. It sounds like a medieval like you're gonna start swinging like a pit sword at somebody or something.
Yeah. Is that where you got the like medieval skull and mortar thing going, or?
Honestly, just so I decided that I was gonna do this channel and I was gonna rebrand some products that we used on the truck that we were selling locally, and I was trying to think of a name that like would just sound cooler. I just thought it sounded cool. I'm not even 100% sure where I got it from, to be honest with you. I think I was listening to a podcast about the Skull and Bones, and I was like, man, Skull and Bones is a cool name. Like, I wish I would have thought of that before they did. You know?
The skull and mortar is cool because then it's like mortar and pestle, and then that's like cooking tools, and
Right.
like
Yeah, I thought it worked out with the seasoning and whatnot.
yeah. So let's backtrack a little bit. You have a food truck.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So how did you get started in barbecue, and then how did that go into a food truck and then a YouTube channel?
So, actually, one day, gosh, it had to be probably like 10 or 12 years ago. I was just eating some barbecue sauce and I didn't like it. So I was like, how hard can it be to make barbecue sauce? I'm just going to make my own. And it was actually harder than I thought it was going to be because like my first couple batches were really, really bad. And then, after I had good barbecue sauce, I was like, well, I might as well cook better meats than the stuff you buy at the store. So then I just learned how to do that. And I started doing like caterings for friends and family, and it just grew from there. And eventually I ended up with the food truck. Actually, I don't know if it's a good idea to say this or not, but I actually got in trouble with the Board of Health because I was selling sauce to restaurants without a permit, like a health permit. So then I was like, well, I might as well get a health permit. And, that's just kind of how it unfolded.
I think, just because you don't have a health permit doesn't mean that you're dirty. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you're unsanitary.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like cleanliness is super important. Like you get somebody gets sick and your business is over. It's
Yeah.
a done deal.
So this is a two-part question. Which barbecue sauce was it that you didn't like? And what were you doing before you decided to go into barbecue?
So everybody like uses Sweet Baby Ray's all the time, at least around here. And I just kept eating it, and I was just like, "This is not very good." I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not anything special. I was like, I could do this better. Uh, so yeah, I think it was. I'm relatively sure it was Sweet Baby Ray's, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna make my own sauce. And then before that, I actually this is gonna sound weird, but so I actually did pro wrestling for a living. And
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, I don't talk about it too much because I try to keep it separate for the most part, but that's what I
Why would
did.
that's so why wouldn't you talk about that? That's awesome. What was your wrestling name?
Oh man. So my wrestling name was Brandon Prophet. And so I did like super violent wrestling. So it's kind of weird. Like and I don't know. I just don't I don't really do a whole lot with it anymore.
That's that's funny because it goes into the skull and mortar pretty
Yeah,
good.
fair enough. I guess it works out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've been doing jujitsu since I was a little kid. So
Yeah.
uh I mean, we used to make fun of the wrestlers because it was like fake wrestling, to us. But then yeah, as I got older and I learned more about it, like just because it's, you know, a lot of it is like staged choreographed moves, it doesn't mean it's not hard or, you know, cool,
Sure.
you know. It's more like a performance, which now I get it. Now it makes more sense because I watched your videos and you're so fun to watch. Like you're a good performer. So I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
I appreciate that because I'm always like so critical of everything that I do. Like I watch it and I have to ask my wife like 300 times. I'm like, are these jokes stupid? Like, do you think that people are just gonna think that I'm dumb for like these ridiculous jokes? And then, then you know, at some point you just got to commit and roll with it. You know?
Oh yeah. I mean, but everyone loves a dad joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't even know anybody named Jessica, but I talk crap about her a lot in my videos randomly.
My boyfriend does that. He talks about Stacy.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always a white girl named like that.
I just was like, I made I forgot what video like that I did it on first, but it just felt like it was dragging too long. So I just made up some story about some girl named Jessica. And my wife was like, who's Jessica? I was like, I have no clue. It just seemed like it worked. So I went with it.
So does your wife shoot the videos? Or
She helps sometimes, like, she's been helping a lot lately. I also have a friend named Brandon who helps a lot. He has his own YouTube channel, but he hasn't posted in a while. But I learned a lot from him for sure. You can tell like on the videos where I try to shoot stuff by myself because like the angles are so much worse because I'm trying to like hold the camera and like I want it to look like somebody's filming it, but it's really just me holding it while trying to do something with my other hand at the same time, and it's very awkward.
yeah, I'm in the same boat. And the camera
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah.
Like my last video, I was trying to adjust the tripod and the camera slid off the back, and it's
Oh
like
no.
it's fucked. It's not that fucked, but like it still works. But the whole casing is like bent in, so I'm afraid
Uh,
the like dust and shit is gonna get in there and just like mess it up.
yeah.
It's like a time bomb waiting to happen. But
I don't know how you feel about your camera, but somebody stole my original camera, and I'm not like a very emotional person. But when I saw that my bag was open and my camera was gone, it was like one of the most. I'm pretty sure. Like, have you ever seen that scene in a movie where like the uh, the camera like zooms out from the top and the guy's like screaming like at the clouds like no for like. I'm pretty sure that that's exactly what happened.
no, like
Yeah,
that.
it was a heartbreaker.
I would definitely feel that way, especially because like I don't have enough money to replace it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, those things are
I bought
expensive.
that when I had a real job.
Yeah.
You know?
No, those things. I mean, to get a good camera, even a cheap good camera, is a lot of money. You know.
Yeah, and it's like if you don't have that, I mean, you could try it off the phone, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I tried it. Like, I had another channel where I just made vlogs and stuff, but they kind of sucked. And I tried to do one with the camera, with my phone camera, and I was just so disappointed. Like, it looked good for a phone, but it just didn't look like because I had a Canon before, like, and it just didn't have like the depth and the richness. You know.
Yeah, that 4K,
Yeah.
whatever that's called, is good. But anyway,
Yeah.
back to barbecue. So what I saw on your channel, you had a lot of Clear Lake, Florida, but
Yeah.
or Clearwater. Are you in Florida or are you in somewhere else?
So I actually live in Indiana. I'm originally from Houston, but I go to Florida probably way too much. Like I feel like in a perfect world, I would just like live in a van and cook barbecue on the beach and just give it away for free, and that would just be my whole life. If I was like a billionaire, that's all I would do. I would just have like a stealth camper and a smoker, and that's it. Be awesome.
So well, I'm in West Palm, so if you're ever in West Palm, come say hi.
Oh, nice,
South.
awesome.
Um, so Houston. So what is your style of barbecue? You're from Texas, then you moved to Indiana, and they was talking about styles. I don't even know what the styles mean, so you're gonna have to explain that to them.
Well, in so I guess my style is kind of like hybrid. Like we're in the newspaper a lot here, and like on the news and stuff like that on a fairly regular basis. So everything is they always like push like Texas, you know, because Texas is obviously a big selling point for barbecue. Um, But I mean, honestly, I've lived here for a long time now. So I mean, since I was in high school. So obviously, the predominant kind of barbecue here is like a Kansas City style barbecue, like St. Louis, like that area where it's like more sugary, sweeter, things like that. And in
What's
Texas,
Texas? Oh,
uh,
sorry.
oh no worries. Texas is a lot sweet is not really a big deal. Like sauce, you don't sauce meat as much. It's mostly like um, the meat just kind of stands on its own. It's a lot of salt and pepper rubs. It's as far as the seasoning goes, it's not as complex. It's more about like the method of the cook versus like the accoutrement, if you will. But I would say
You
that
gotta define the accoutrement because I don't think everyone's gonna know what that means.
but it's it's just more like it's salt and pepper, it's wood, it's fire, and it's slow, and it's just like that mastery of knowing how to cook the meat. Um, with like Kansas City style and like St. Louis style and that kind of Midwest style barbecue, you can and even with like Carolina, you can cheat it a lot more because you can inject the crap out of it with stuff, you can rub it with stuff, you can baste it with stuff, you can do all kinds of things to like um, increase it just allows you to have like greater room for error.
Okay, because you
If
can
that
cover
makes
your
sense.
mistakes with sauce, basically.
With sauce and rubs that
Mhm.
have deeper profiles, um, if you go to the store and you look at the ingredients on like a normal like a normal rub, like for instance where you're at, it's going to be a lot sweeter, like tomatoey based stuff with a lot of sugar in it. If you go and you look at the rubs, it'll have like 50 different ingredients in it sometimes. But in Texas, it's just almost always going to be salt and pepper, maybe garlic, maybe a couple other things here and there, but it's very rare.
Okay, that kind of leads me to my next point too. Where do you source your meat? Because I feel like people don't really talk about it that much. About you know, one of the reasons why barbecue tastes good, it has less to do with the person cooking it and more of the quality of the animal that they're cooking, you know?
Yeah, I would say that that's I mean, there's some truth to that, but I've also seen people I've seen people butcher like good meat. It just comes with you just got to how to understand what you're cooking and how it cooks, and if you can do that, then it comes down to like the quality of the meat and those kind of things. I have a sponsorship for when we did like competitions. I have like some sponsorships, um, and then I also I have a meat dealer because I have the food truck and I had a restaurant and all that stuff. So I can ask for like very specific things and get them. Um, but sometimes, if I can too, whenever possible, like I try to buy stuff locally and we'll do like, local, um, we'll push that. Hey, this week, this is all from this farm or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's cool to get to be picky. I get a heads up over, or a leg up over like people who have to go find meat at Kroger or Costco or something like that. So it's a good move.
Yeah, that is a good move. Yeah. I'm trying to get an interview with the Florida, I'm gonna mess this name up. Food Florida Food Policy Council, so we could talk more about like local and sustainability because after COVID and like all that shit happening with like the
Yeah.
people in the meat plants getting sick, like I think we can, there's probably more attention on it than there's ever been. So it's going to be a
Right.
good way to promote like, hey, help out your local farmer right over here, decentralize
Yeah.
the food industry.
Right. Like all our turkey spots are sold out this year, but like we ordered turkeys from a farm that's like 4 miles from my house, like maybe. So, that's whenever possible, I like to try and keep things like farm to table as much as possible. We use a lot of stuff like that farm down the street. They always have like a huge stand and like a lot of the hot sauces and stuff that I'm going to release soon, like for sale. They all the first batch of peppers I got from him. I'll have to switch it up in the winter some, but whenever possible, like he'll be the first go-to for the ingredients for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. And then also having a relationship with the farmer, I'm sure you could be like, hey, you want to try growing this pepper for me? I'm like trying to
Yeah.
set it up.
I don't know. I don't think he likes me, but
They
he's like
like your money.
he reminds me of my grandpa, so I just keep on coming anyway. But he's just like he's funny. He's like probably, I mean, he's probably gonna be 85, 90, and he's just like he's lived at that farm his whole life making this stuff, and they just like put an interstate right next to his farm, and that's just kind of where he lives, and it's one of the coolest setups ever for sure. Like as far as Indiana goes, like you can't get much cooler than what that guy's got going on.
So speaking of setups, I love that flat top that you have in your videos.
Oh yeah. Everybody else has the Blackstone, and I got that off Facebook Marketplace for like $100, and it's like normally like 300 or something. And it looked like brand new when I got it, so I was like, I got a round one now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're building an outdoor kitchen, and when it's done, it'll be like built into the countertop, so it'll be pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So if there's like, people new to barbecue listening to this, what would you say would be like the essential tools that you need to get started with barbecue?
So probably the first thing is you want to get a smoker that's well insulated, or you need to know how to insulate it. One or the other. Like you don't want. I mean, you can learn on a smoker from Walmart that's $100 on clearance, but it's going to leak. It's gonna be hard to control the temperature because it's going to leak air and those kind of things. You want to make sure that you have good sharp knives, and a good like probe thermometer. Everybody starting off should use like good thermometers. I know on Facebook especially you'll hear like a lot of people like, oh, it's you do it by like sight and touch, and most people are never going to be able to do that because they're just never going to cook enough barbecue to be able to do that. And you got to give yourself the safety net because a brisket is expensive, so you don't want to be like torturing briskets, you know what I mean, or torching them. You want it to be good. So and an injector too, and I think injectors are good tools for especially for beginners.
Oh my God. So I watched your turkey video, and so I was just like shaking my head the whole time because my mom's a nurse practitioner. So she decided like for like 20 years ago that she was gonna take her needles from work and inject the turkey because she makes the driest fucking turkey you ever have in your life. And she was like, I'll put this turkey on steroids. And we were just all like, okay, nurse Ann, like that's not gonna work.
Yeah. How was it?
The meat itself was great. She's got to work on her like skills on the browning. But the problem really is that like she throws the turkey in the oven and then she goes and takes a shower and like forgets that the turkey's in the oven. You know what I mean? Like
overcooks it maybe.
She's like, okay, I'm done. And then all of a sudden you're like, Mom, what about the turkey? You're like, oh shit, every year. So that helps out so much. But if your video about her, she was just like, I'm validated. I sent it to her. She's like, I told you so. But also the idea of cooking it, like smoking it upside down so the breasts don't dry out, I thought was really interesting. But I was wondering, like, if you're doing that in the oven, is there a point where you would want to, like, maybe halfway through or something, flip it the other way so it gets the brown skin? Like, how would you accomplish that?
I would not do that. Even in the oven, the key for like the brown skin is going to be the oil. Hit it with that oil, and and then use a rub that has, or like a seasoning that has salt in it, like a good amount of salt, because that's going to pull the moisture out and it's going to make it crisp. But as far as crisp, let me try it again. As far as crisp skin goes on any kind of poultry, that oil is a lifesaver. But you don't want to be too crazy because you don't want to like, just soak it so much that there's no way it's going to cook off. But if you're going for like, a 3.5 hour cook with that oil, it's going to burn off and it's going to pull out that moisture with it.
Do you ever do like the French method where you put like the butter underneath the skin so you attack it from like both sides, basically?
So I've tried a lot of different things for contests, and I've used butter steams in contests. I've never put it under the skin, but I've actually in contests, I've taken the skin all the way off of the piece of meat and scraped the extra fat off and then put it back on and like stuck the skin back on how I want it to look. Like, so it covers the meat how I want it to look, because in a contest, you know, how the meat looks is super important.
Oh yeah.
So you want the skin to cover the whole meat, and like I'll trim it with like shears to make sure that it's the right shape and it covers everything how I want it to. And but like for stuff at home and turkeys, you know, it's you're doing the same basic thing, because the oil and the fat from the butter is what's creating that same effect as spraying it with oil. So I mean, you can do that, and if it works, that's awesome. But I mean, I think that you'll get the same effect easier if you just use the spray.
So where did you learn all this stuff?
Trial and error. I learned a lot. That's where most of it came from. But I learned a lot of stuff from YouTube. I learned a lot of stuff from, I got a friend named Jimmy that does barbecue stuff. And I was already doing like a lot of stuff commercially. And he kind of like taught me some tricks as far as contest barbecue goes. And he, you know, he's won a ton of awards too. So he was a great resource for sure. But yeah, it's a lot of a guy named there's Malcolm Reed from How to Barbecue Right on YouTube is like a really great resource for people who want to learn.
Or you could just go to Skull and Mortar.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Come to me first, and if I don't have a video, then go there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have some more like interesting stuff too with like the burnt ends of the hot dogs. I never saw that before. That looked interesting. I was watching that one and I was like, I want to take one of those and make it a corn dog. I think that would be fun. But
yeah. So I thought that I didn't realize that idea was somebody suggested on Facebook, and that's where I got the idea from. On one of my other videos, I suggested it. But I guess too, a lady named Susie Eaton from Hey Grill Hey, Hey Grill Hey. I guess that was her like invention. So yeah. It's there's a few people doing it. My recipe is a little bit different than hers, but they're pretty. I mean, there's only so many ways to skin that cat. You know what I mean?
yeah, but also I don't think it's not like, you know, growing up when you couldn't really like afford like dinner. It's the same concept as you cook all the hot dogs up like that in pieces and then like burn them like that, and then you would toss them in ketchup.
Yeah.
That was like the meat for dinner.
Well, I'll tell you, it was legitimately the best hot dogs I've ever had. Like, I only really eat hot dogs at like baseball games, but I would eat these anytime. They were really, really good. So, you know, kudos to her for thinking it up. Hopefully I put a little twist on it that makes it a little fancier, but I mean, either way, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh man, I had another question, but it always happens to me. I was like, I need to write them down, but I want it like, you know, I want to do these like cool interviews and like not seem like I'm writing a bunch of questions down.
You want it to feel more organic?
Yeah. And then I'm like, fuck. And then like 3 days from now, I'm gonna be like, forgot to ask him.
Wait, you'd be surprised, like you were talking about how I injected that turkey earlier, and it made me think some guy on Facebook, I get like weird, just like the weirdest hate for like the weirdest things ever. Like some guy was like, oh, you called yourself a pit master and then you injected a turkey. And I was like, dude, I sold 300 injected turkeys for this Thanksgiving. So, you know what I mean? I'm just going to keep on injecting them. That's how I like to do it. You know?
Yeah, and I think part of being a pit master is also being an innovator. Like if we never break from tradition, we're never gonna advance. So
right,
he can have fun in his fucking smokehouse.
Right, you can cook I'm sure his turkey is decent, but I guarantee you that injected one is way richer in the flavor. You know, I mean, you inject it for a reason, right? Like because you're injecting moisture and flavor, and um, there's a reason it wins contests versus you know just throwing it out there. But to each his own. Like if that's what you want to do. But like me personally,
That's not a performing enhancing drug over there.
no, it definitely is. It's just not illegal,
Yeah.
But I personally want to break every rule ever made. Like if somebody's like, oh, you can't, like I'm getting hated on heavy for this Impossible Burger right now. Like why?
I mean, I'm not saying that I think the Impossible Burger is a good idea, because I think like it's not, even if it tastes just as good as meat, I do not believe that it's healthier for you than meat. Like
Sure.
I don't like that's where I diverge. But
Right.
like if you can make it taste like meat, like that's pretty
Right.
cool. Like you shouldn't just say it doesn't accomplish the goal just because like you don't like the idea of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like if somebody was like, hey, do you want this like delicious like prime burger or do you want this Impossible Burger? I'm probably gonna take the prime burger every time. But if I showed up someplace and they were like, oh, hey, I got this Impossible Burger, but that's all I got, I'd eat it again. Like it it's not for I eat first off, I eat trash, obviously. I'm not a skinny guy. Like I just eat like the unhealthiest stuff possible. Like I'm super diabetic and I got that way by pounding trash, you know what I mean? But it but no, I just think like I got a good deal on it and I was like, why should I not do it? It was like half off at Walmart or Kroger or something on clearance and I was like, today's the day.
Yeah, why not try it? And also, but it does bother me when people will tell you, like I would never give someone an Impossible Burger and tell them it was real meat.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I definitely did that. I definitely did not tell my son it was an Impossible Burger.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's like a different thing. Like I remember when I was living in Philly, there was a there was this vegan around, and
Yeah.
she gave this little girl a vegan hot dog. This was this little girl's first hot dog. She bites into the hot dog, and all the soy mush just like comes out. And you're telling that girl it's a real hot dog. You just ruin hot dogs for her for the rest of your life. Like don't do shit like that. Like
Was she
don't.
done with it?
She hated it. She was like, I'm not eating this. I don't like hot dogs. I was like, but that's not a hot dog. I don't like hot dogs. No.
That's awesome. I love Philly. Philly is very cool. Like a cheesesteak in Philly is a different experience than it is anywhere else for sure.
Oh yeah. Even I went just like randomly the class I was in at the restaurant school, the owner of Pat's Steaks decided he wanted to like show his children like you could get a degree and stuff. So
Yeah.
he was in my class. So like I feel like I'm very biased because I'm just like Pat's all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Uh,
I just learned so much from him. Like hearing all his stories about like the olden days and Pat's Steaks versus Geno's, and
yeah.
there's so many other good cheesesteaks there. And then even like I worked at Barclay Prime for a while, which is on
Uh-huh.
Rittenhouse Square, and we had like the $100 cheesesteak with like fucking foie gras and shit on it. That shit was good.
I feel like I need $100 cheesesteak. I need to know what that experience is like.
I couldn't eat it with a lobster on it because I'm allergic, but it had like lobster, foie gras. They made the cheesesteak out of like Wagyu.
Oh,
like,
nice.
like it was like, just to the max. I forgot
Yeah.
what cheese they used actually. I can't remember. I don't know. Personally, I like my cheesesteak with provolone. What do you like? You a whiz guy?
I probably would go with the nacho cheese.
Yeah, the cheese whiz.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Cheese whiz. Yeah, I would go just straight cheese whiz.
I One of the interesting things I learned from his name is Frank was cheese whiz is clear until they dye it.
Yeah.
Like
That sounds intense.
that's gross. Like it
I would
tastes like
probably eat it
cheese.
clear, to be honest with you. I would just eat it anyway.
I think if I ate it clear, like my mind would be like, this isn't right. You can't
Yeah,
taste creamy and be clear. Like
that is weird. That's an interesting. I'd like to see that. It's like when people show you the like that picture of the chicken nugget meat that went around, and like
The pink slime.
it was, yeah, it was pink or whatever, but like nobody explains to you why, like the science behind the picture. You know what I mean? Like, when you hear the whole thing, it doesn't seem so bad.
I never heard
I'd
the
be,
whole thing. I just assumed it wasn't cooked yet.
yeah, I mean that's basically what it is. It just if I'd have to watch the video again, but it had like some like super normal explanation, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. It just looks
Yeah,
good.
no big. I'd eat it anyway if it tasted good. I don't care.
Oh, chicken nuggets were my favorite when I was a kid.
Yeah, same. I still eat them now sometimes. I'm about to make my own chicken
Um,
nuggets.
that's good.
Yeah.
What part you usually use chicken breast or what? Or mashed up or what do you do?
I'd probably just like grind up all the chicken. You probably want
The fat?
yeah, you'd probably want like the fattier parts, like the legs and the thighs and all that. That's the best meat anyway, right?
That's true. Doesn't dry out.
Yeah. Probably help it stick together a little bit,
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to research it, but now I'm definitely going to make a chicken nugget video. So probably some guy in some barbecue group somewhere is going to talk crap about me and tag me in it for it. But
I mean, have you ever had chicken nuggets with barbecue sauce? It's amazing.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Some people just take themselves too seriously. Like cooking should be fun. Like eating should be fun, right?
But like at the same time, I feel like trolls don't get enough like shit talked back to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do all the time. I don't even care. Like,
Yeah.
my wife is like, they're gonna thumbs down your video. I'm like, I don't care, man. Like, at least
It
they're interacting
actually
with it.
doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
good because I was like looking this up. Um I wasn't looking that up specifically, but in one of the videos I was watching about like how to make YouTube videos, the algorithm doesn't care if it's up or down. It just cares that somebody's pressing something.
Right.
So you should just do something to piss off all the barbecue people.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I feel weird sometimes. Like if I don't get any dislikes, like I have a lot of videos that have no dislikes, and part of me wants to have like when I get a video and somebody hits dislike, I'm like, cool, real people are watching my videos. Like it's not just like my mom is not just watching it and clicking like on every video. It's like a real person, and they
I
really
know.
didn't like my video, and I'm like, awesome. Like it's, I don't know. It's no matter what you do, like somebody isn't always not going to like it. There's going to be like one person that's like, this guy's a dweeb. I'm going to click his dislike. So that's cool. Like, but it just means, to me, it just shows that somebody real found my video and invested some part of their self into it, whether they liked it or not.
Oh yeah, if there's there's a room of 100 people, one of them's gonna be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
I can live with that too. Hit dislike on my video, but just interact with it somehow so it gets pushed a little bit. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Either if
Like
you're
I
gonna
don't have any dislikes, and I feel like, oh, moms, thanks, mom.
yeah,
Thanks for watching, mom.
yeah,
By
thank
the
you,
way,
mom.
my mom's the only one going to see this interview.
As long as she hits like or dislike, right? As long as she hits one of them, we're good.
She's gonna hit like because she's gonna feel so validated by you injecting that turkey.
No, I appreciate her ingenuity.
It's gonna be
But
like,
that's what I feel like about barbecue. I feel like it's just like you should just try anything. Just be like anything that you can think of. The worst thing that's gonna happen is it's not gonna be good. And what is okay? You've never cooked something that sucked before. Like you might as well try it. I don't know, that's what I think. Like I did a video where I did deep fried ribs, and I never had deep fried ribs before, and I did two different versions of them, and like I didn't really like the breaded one that much. Like it was okay, but it wasn't great. Like it's not something I'm gonna cook again. Like the one without the breading was good. I would eat it. Like I would cook it again on purpose, but not everything is gonna be a home run. Just kind of is. Honestly, too, in that last video I made, I'm not really that big of a fan of Black Angus. So I didn't really much care for the Black Angus. Maybe it made the Impossible Burger taste better to me. I don't know. But I actually prefer the Impossible Burger over the Black Angus burger.
those are some controversial. That's a hot take right there.
Yeah, I'm already getting booed, so that just stepped it up to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm getting trolled by like 50-year-old house moms and stuff now on Facebook already for that Impossible Burger video.
I thought the 50-year-old housewives would be like that's the target market right there.
Hey,
Homesteaders.
just to clarify, I love 50-year-old house moms. Please watch my videos. Like, you're welcome. But I'm just talking about, yeah, there's like a certain demographic for some reason. Like, they're just like, oh, get this shit out of here. This is garbage. And I'm like, cool, man. Thanks for watching, I guess. Like, yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, you got nothing else better to do. So
yeah, I'll take it.
I'll
Like,
take
again,
it.
just if you don't like the video, just hit dislike.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that.
Jessica hitting the dislike button.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Just hit it so I get some love from YouTube. You know, that's all. I'm just trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can make $1.
Me too.
Yeah.
The hustle is real. But I the second time, maybe the third time in a row, I've been trying to do Amazon Associates and they kicked me out again this morning.
I actually did not get kicked out this time. Like, so I'm selling stuff. People are clicking my links and buying stuff, which is cool. Not a lot. And to be honest with you, like, I don't really care if I make money off the videos. Like, I pretty much just started doing it because I was bored during COVID. And like, I started like right at the beginning of COVID, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna be stuck at home, I might as well do something with that time. And then I was like, man, my kitchen is not set up for this. So then I just built like a studio kitchen. So like, if you watch like my older videos, they're like, the lighting sucks and like the sound sucks, like everything really sucks. And then all of a sudden I have like a studio kitchen and stuff, which is not a real kitchen at all. It's just in my garage. It's just like a section of my garage, but in that one section, it looks really legit. Everywhere else, there's like bicycles and smokers and like Christmas decorations, and it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's a real set right there.
Yeah, I do have a gigantic Coke refrigerator out there, which is pretty dope.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have a house. Like more space. Apartment life sucks when you're trying to cook shit.
It's got its ups and downs. I tried to convince my wife that we should sell our house and rent a place, and I almost convinced her. And then she was like, the last minute, she was like, "That's really dumb. We're not going to do that." And I was like, "Crap." But then one day your air conditioner goes on. You got to pay for that bad boy.
Yeah, but like, it's worth it. It's worth it. Trust me. You're not just throwing your money away.
Yeah,
assets.
I definitely see. I definitely see that side of the coin. I'm just really lazy, and I can't seem to get past that. You know, I got to mow that grass.
Air conditioner repairman. It's cheaper than all the money I threw away on my rent. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Then at least you have some equity built up afterwards, I suppose.
Yeah. But the YouTube channel is also good because then you can promote your food truck.
Yeah, I figure like I have like 41 or 42 different sauces, and I have like tons of rubs and stuff that for different things. So I just was like, I'll use this stuff in the video, and then if people want to buy it, like I can make it and sell it for them. I saw a lot of sauce locally, so I was like, why not like give it a go and see what happens? You know what I mean?
Do you have like a website for that?
So I just launched skullandmortar.com.
Okay.
But I also have my food truck is called Beach Bum Barbecue, so I got beachbumbarbecue.com as well.
Oh, so we got to merge the brands, huh?
Yeah, well, they're a little kind of. I definitely created like a split brand. I felt like maybe the Skull and Mortar branding was better for like sauces and seasonings, because it just kind of I think the people that are largely going to buy those products are maybe, I don't know. I kind of picture like some guy like me, like who has like a big beard, and he's probably listening to like, I don't know. He's probably listening to like Slayer or something in his garage, and he's like, I need something that sounds cool, you know? So if it doesn't sound cool, it's too late. I already registered everything, so we're rolling with it. But you get the point.
So Beach Bum is going to turn into Skull and Mortar, or no? They're just going to stay separate?
No, it'll stay the same. I have too many, we've got too many years in that brand, and we're booked out now through March of 2021. I've had a lot, I've had a lot of offerings for other bookings, but I'm trying to like keep from going out too far because I don't know what, with Corona and all that, I don't know what's going to happen. It looks like probably after the election, we're going to get hit with another shutdown is what I would imagine. So I'm not, I think we probably would have already. They probably would have shut us down again if it wasn't for the election.
Oh,
Nothing ever shuts down in Florida.
Yeah, no, we actually, so I was just in Clearwater in May, and it was the day we got there on Sunday, and then that month, either that Sunday or that Monday, they had just opened back up to like 25% capacity in Clearwater. So I was like, dang, if we would have been off another day or two, I'd have been like cooking hot dogs again. Like I'd have been outside like I'd have like one of those little butane torches cooking hot dogs in our hotel room.
why? But it seems like a food truck would be the perfect business too for that because you're outside, like social distancing is very possible.
Right.
Like it seems like someone just needs to make a like food truck mall almost that people go to.
Yeah, and they do a lot of. They did like some food truck events here, and this the dynamic of the job changed. So, for instance, like during the summer and all that stuff, like my biggest thing is like huge parties, street festivals, neighborhood things. Like I do really well in like my core demographic for the truck is like people that you would see at a brewery. And don't get me wrong, I love everybody coming in. We get a huge group of people, like of diverse people that come through. But like where I really do well is like neighborhoods that are kind of like neighborhoods where people are kind of moving in and building them up, and they have those street festivals to help rebuild their fountains or their their neighborhood common areas and stuff like that.
The hipsters.
Yeah. I was trying to avoid hipster because some people get offended by it. I don't know why. I don't care if somebody says I'm a hipster. I'm all right with it, I guess. But
That's all right. I'm hip.
yeah, it's like I would like to be cool. Like I feel like I'm getting old and I'm not cool anymore. But yeah, that's kind of like my core demographic. So and a lot of those events just didn't happen this year. So I had to kind of try and figure out how to work around those things. You know what I mean? Keep moving forward for sure.
So have you just lost all your business or we
Oh no, we're still busy. It's just different business. Like
different business?
yeah, like for instance, I definitely take jobs now. I've taken jobs this year that I wouldn't take before, just because it wasn't like big enough for us. So I've taken smaller jobs, but they're just still some jobs unfortunately I can't do. I can't do a job that doesn't make money. Like no matter, I can't just do busy work just to be busy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, we lost a lot of our big, big money jobs for sure because we don't, there's no festival with 500 people who are going to come through to our truck in 3 hours. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, that sucks. Do you ever go never mind. The bars are closed too. I was gonna say there's always that one stand right outside the bar.
yeah, and when I first started, we did a lot of stuff like that too. Like that's, we kind of just pulled up and dug in wherever we could and things like that. But it just those kind of things just aren't profitable for me anymore with the size of the operation that we run. So I can't do a lot of that stuff anymore, and I think sometimes it's a little awkward when I have to tell people no. I'm like, unfortunately, I can't do it, but it we're fortunate. I'm stingy with money, so that helps, and I
Well, you
think
have
that
to be in the food business. Like your
right,
profit margin's not that high,
yeah.
So
Well, hopefully we can get rid of COVID and we can get back to where we should be. You know what I mean?
I just feel like there's always, there's gonna be another disease or whatever. So it's like
Yeah.
we got to figure out how to do business, like how to. I mean, how to shut it down and open it up and do all this stuff, like how to roll with the punches, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't think, I don't think masks are going away. I don't think like social distancing is going away, which isn't bad for a food truck, but for a
No.
restaurant, that's not great.
Right. It's not bad for me personally either because I'm like socially awkward anyway. So it's like I just pretend really hard like I'm not. But did you see that episode? Do you watch South Park?
I've seen a lot of South Park, but I wouldn't say that I like sit down and watch anything really, like
There's this episode like where they're talking about like Corona and Carmen has like a 6 foot long stick, and anytime he's walking around, he's just pushing the stick on people to get them away, like the social distance. I want to do that so bad. Like I just want to be like stick, 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 just because it's funny to me.
there was a guy, it went like viral on Facebook or something. There was a guy with a 6 foot and they were like those pool noodles,
Yeah,
just like all around him.
that's
And
awesome.
so it's like a bumper. It reminds me of like, when you're a toddler and you have those walker things
Yeah,
you used to have. That's what it looked like. It's hilarious.
that's awesome. My son had one. It's called a jumperoo. That's the one that he had. It was a jumperoo. It
You
was
jump.
intense. He would definitely get down in that thing. It was a very, like, you could tell, like, if you ever put a baby in one of those things, like you have like the one baby that's there for fun and they're happy and having a good time, and then you have the one baby that's there just to like tear shit up and like just wreak havoc on that thing. And that was my son. He's just in there as serious as possible, just up and down 1,000 miles an hour. It was intense.
That was me. I'm a twin, so
Yeah.
my twin brother, like all the family videos, like I look like I just have like this smirk on my face. I'm like
Like,
up to no good.
about
And
to go pure havoc.
yeah, like I would just do. But I remember we had like, it wasn't a walker, but it was like I guess I don't know what a jumperoo is exactly, but this one like was attached to the ceiling.
Oh wow.
So it was like, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was just the camera angle, but it was like a swing type thing where you
Yeah.
could jump up and down. And I jumped a little too hard, came crashing down.
Just
But it
tore
was
right
like I
off.
did it on purpose because I was just laughing the whole time. You know what I mean? Like,
That's awesome. I think that we're gonna get along well. I appreciate that in you.
yeah. But yeah, it's always fun. Rules are meant to be broken, right?
Right, exactly. It goes back to the pass point, right?
That was good. What was I gonna say? I had another question. I gotta get better at this interviewing stuff.
I'm just gonna stare at you awkwardly until you
Okay,
just until you figure it out.
Oh my god. So, another thing, I don't know if I'll cut this out or not, but I accidentally hit myself in the face with a plug like 3 days ago, and
Yeah.
my eye like was kind of lazy. So just tell me because it's really bad, so I can look the other way and I'll look like a crazy.
It's just like, have you ever seen the Cloverfield paradox?
No, is that the
Yeah.
one about the aliens?
It's the one. Yeah, well, they're in outer space in that one, like on the space station, trying to like beam power back down to Earth, and like at one point, like the Russian dude's eye just starts like going off to the side, all crazy, and he gets stuck like in the
Oh,
back.
that was me like normally. So
That's you. You just normally your eyes just drifts back around.
well, growing up, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was from like getting so many concussions in jujitsu or I was just born with it maybe. But they figured out like this muscle in my eye, it doesn't fire. The nerve doesn't fire at the same time as the other side. Like it's weaker. So like my eye will like drift up sometimes. And like it's just annoying because I can see fine, but it just doesn't, it looks creepy. So
Well, for what it's worth, your eyes look symmetrical to me. Like I think that we're okay.
because I'm
Everything
looking at
looks
it and I'm
lined
like,
up.
it's going this way a little bit. But yeah, it gets tired and then it starts twitching because it's working too hard. It's pretty funny.
It makes you feel any better. I think I have Tourette's because I lick my lips nonstop. Like I see myself do it all the time in videos. I'm like, And I'm like, God damn it, dude. So like I cut out me like if you ever look at my TikTok, like I do this thing where I just like kind of review other people's recipes on TikTok, and all the time I'm just like, and I'm like, God, man, you're gonna look like a friggin' weirdo. I feel
I
like,
think that's so. I feel like everyone who's like doing YouTube and stuff now, like there's always something you never knew you did until you had to sit down and watch yourself and like edit it, you know?
yeah.
And I swear to God, like I must be related to Matthew McConaughey because I say, all right, like all the time. Like, all right, so all right, so all right. And I'm
I'm
like,
all
who
right
are you
with that.
talking to?
Yeah. I think I do that too. I do have the benefit of like just recently I started like moving away from doing as many voiceovers. Like my first videos, I quickly like after my first video, I was like, wow, this sucks, dude. This is like me talking is terrible. So I immediately went to voiceovers. And like the first time I did a voiceover, I had the Rode mic for my camera plugged into my computer, and I'm like holding it up here, and I'm like leaning over, like trying to talk to it. And then I got like now I have this mic here,
Oh,
which is
that's
a
the Yeti.
yeah, it's the Yeti Nano, and it's like it's way better.
You
But I just
fancy,
got
you
a
checked
lav
out.
mic.
It's balling in his tech over here.
I'm
This.
trying. I just got a lav mic now, and so now I'm switching between the two. Like if I don't like think of anything like clever to say, then I just go back over it with something normal later.
I
Like
just I got the lav mic because I think I found it on like Let Go or something. Like
yeah,
and it thank God it works. But
sure.
you know, I couldn't afford too many microphones yet. So I used the lav. I was like, I have to get a lav mic because my refrigerator is like, it's not doing it right now, but it's so loud.
Yeah.
Like, it's like sometimes I can't even sleep because it's so loud. And I don't like the back doesn't come off. So I'm sure it's the compressor, but I can't clean the coils because they're completely covered.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, fuck, you know, it's not my refrigerator. I'm renting. This is why apartment life sucks. So,
Fair enough.
so
So
yeah, it's horrible. But I use my lab for the voiceovers, and I forget that it's supposed to be a lab.
yeah. So I do that like in a lot of my videos too. Like I got that I have like that giant refrigerator is like 2 feet away from like that main table that I'm cooking at. So I just make fun of it. Like I sometimes now like I started turning it off. But I try to be careful because I'm like I don't want to like mess it up because it's probably like a $4,000 refrigerator at least, like maybe more than that. I mean, it's like a big like double door like Coke refrigerator. Because it says Coke on it, it's probably worth more than that to somebody, right? But I just make fun of it. Like I'll just be like, "This is me and my loud ass refrigerator signing off," you know. Like I figure if it's gonna be there, I might as well make it a gag, you know.
Yeah, but it's just so like I would watch the videos and like I had people messaging me like when I first started. I felt like it was probably my whole high school watching the video.
Yeah.
This kid like who'd never like in high school never talked to me like once. Like I knew of him but never talked to me. Messages me, "Hey, your refrigerator's like really loud. Like I like what you're doing and I don't want to be a hater, but like you got to do something about that refrigerator."
That's what the first time Brandon came to film with me. He first off he was amazed that like he's like, dude, this really is a garage, and I was like, yeah, it really is. That's why like you'll notice like I'm cooking on a flat top inside the garage. Like I don't even care. I got a smoker running in my garage right now. I don't even care. I just cracked the garage door and let it roll out. I got insurance. But that's the first thing he said. He was like, dude, this refrigerator, we got to do something about it. It's got to go. So
I unplug mine, but I put a timer on, so I make sure it's plugged in. Like I don't go over 2 hours because more temperature danger zone than like the refrigerator. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's worked so far. I don't want the freezer to defrost either because that's a mess.
Yeah. Start. Well, luckily this one doesn't have a defrost. It just is just a straight refrigerator. It's one of those ones that they put the Cokes in at like gas stations and stuff.
Oh, I was thinking like 50s, like collectible Coke refrigerator, if that makes sense.
Oh no, it's totally new. It's like it was brand new. When did they gave it to me in maybe like October of last year, so it's maybe like a year old.
Oh, so it's just like the glass case refrigerator.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but you
The
can
pull or the
it
slide? That's the question.
slides.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely it's pretty cool. Like, and it looks cool because it has like lights in it and stuff. So every time like people come to my garage, they're like, "This is not a joke," and I was like, "Nothing ever is. Not when you come to my house. It's serious. We don't play games over here."
That's awesome. That's awesome. I want one of those now. You know what I want? I want the freezer. The like what do you call that?
Like a chest freezer?
Like a dip freezer, but it's got the sliding glass top.
Oh yeah. I have one of those. I have a freezer like that, but it has the lift up. It doesn't have the slides. Actually, no, I don't think it's a freezer. I think it's just a cooler. I might in storage. I have like a beer refrigerator, so you might be able to get it down to like freezing temperatures. But it's like big. It has stainless steel slides on it. It's pretty cool.
Can
It weighs
you
like 9,000 pounds.
convert? Can you like? How could you convert? You got to be able to make a refrigerator into a freezer.
So I definitely froze out this Coke refrigerator before, but the problem is the compressor freezes up and then it'll stop working. Like it won't hold temperature until you let it thaw out. So it turns into a nightmare.
So that's why they have the defrost cycle on refrigerators.
Yeah, it turns into a rough situation if you're not careful.
I always knew that it had a defrost, but I never knew why.
I assume that's why.
It makes sense. Because that was always my job. Like my first kitchens too. Like you have to pull the whole refrigerator out and clean the coils in the back.
Yeah.
And when it defrosts, usually the commercial refrigerator or freezer thing, it always has that condensation like leaking, but your floor is like a French drain, so like it doesn't matter.
For
You
sure.
have to wear like non-slip shoes. So
yeah.
But yeah, I always had to clean the coils in the back.
That's what I love about having a commercial kitchen is at the end of the night, if it's too rough in there, you literally just get the water hose out and just go to town. It's
yeah.
nice.
Oh my God. I got the best compliment though the other day about my boyfriend's friend. He was like, "Oh, I've been watching your videos." And he's like, "Your kitchen's so clean." And I was like, "Yeah." But I just make sure like if I'm too tired, because sometimes my boyfriend will work till like 2-3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. So I'll just like, well, I guess I'll start making a video and it'll be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is not like the time you should start making a video. And so by the time he gets home and I'm done and stuff, like I don't want to clean, I want to sleep and wake up and then clean. So like my rules for that are just like no, like you can have like dirty dishes, but they got to be in the dishwasher. Like no food can be out. Like you can worry about like washing the stove and the floor tomorrow, but like we don't want to attract bugs. Yeah, that's the main.
Sure.
The
On
main
an apartment too, you got to be careful because you don't know what other people got going on.
Oh my God. We had such a bad ant problem before, and all of a sudden they disappeared. But I did find their anthill outside, and I poured a bunch of ant bait in it, so that's probably what happened.
Could be.
Probably how they disappeared.
All right. I'm actually, you talked about bad times to start videos. It's I'm about to film a whole video tonight. I might even edit the whole thing tonight. So we'll see. It's going to be a pretty easy video, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But then like tomorrow, I'm going to film another video because I'm trying to I'm going to see how hard it is to like pick up my schedule a little bit to release more videos. And there's like some things I definitely want to hit like for the holidays, And then I'm trying to be like creative I'm trying to make videos that I can be like like 3 holiday sides, right? And then after Christmas, I can switch it to like 3 sides for your barbecue or like your party or whatever. So like people, maybe they still show up and they still stay relevant. I don't know.
You just switch the title and tags and description
Yeah,
kind of thing.
that's what I thought I'd give it a shot and see how it works out.
I was thinking about that too. Like some of the stuff I'll put like 2020 in, but
Yeah,
then like I'll change the tag. Like January, I'll change it to 2021.
yeah. See what happens.
But what are you gonna make tonight?
So there's a popular thing right now on like Instagram and stuff where like people are doing bacon wrap smoked Oreos. So I noticed like I've watched a couple of people do them on like Instagram, and I think I watched like one YouTube video, but I noticed like something that I think that they all do wrong, where they could make them better. So I'm gonna do that, and then but I'm also gonna bacon wrap and smoke a Twinkie because I figured like I might as well see what a bacon wrap smoked Twinkie tastes like.
Does
I
the
mean,
bacon wrapped Oreo have any batter around it, or is it just
no,
Oreo
it's just gonna be the Oreo. When is this interview coming up?
Thursday?
All right, cool. That's when my video will come out too. So you guys can check it out. But basically, it's going to be an Oreo, and then the way people season it, I think, is wrong. So I'm going to season it a different way, and I'm just going to like wrap this bacon up. And I think that you can, like, people don't use enough bacon either. They're just like, oh, here's like one little like.
I don't know anything about this challenge, so it's just an Oreo wrapped
Right.
in bacon. It's not, and then fried or smoked or
No, I'm just gonna smoke it. Yeah, and then I think it's gonna be. I mean, I could see how it could be good, but I could
double
also see
still?
what's up.
Is it double still? Like what?
Well, here's what
Need
blows my mind.
specifics
Everybody
here.
does single stuff. Like in all these videos, I don't know why anybody would use single stuff for anything when there's mega stuff. And I think that I'm probably going to take the mega stuff and do a double mega stuffed. I mean, why would you not make it as out of control as possible if you're going to do it?
I feel like the cookie ratio is going to be off though.
Why use one piece of bacon though? Everybody's using like a half a piece of bacon. Why use a half when you could use 2 whole pieces?
Yeah, but also why? Okay, this is my input because you're still gonna have. Oh, I just had another idea. Okay, bear with me now. All right, so the problem with mega stuff, because I don't like to eat mega stuff like on its own, because I feel like the ratio of cookie to frosting is off. Like it's too much frosting to chocolate cookie. So I feel like if you're gonna fry it, or smoke it, like the smoking is gonna make that chocolate cookie like mush, right? Like
It'll soften it up. But the
yeah.
bacon, I think, will maintain like some crisp to it. I think we'll find out.
So I'm thinking this might be cheating though. I don't know if this counts. Get the stuff out of this. Get the stuff out of the stuff. Roll it in a ball. Crush up the cookie crumbs. Roll it in that bacon on that outside.
That's an interesting idea as well. But then, so what keeps it from collapsing? Because the bacon is definitely going to squeeze in, right? And then that cream is definitely going to be like molten in there for a minute, right?
Can
So
we
do you
freeze
think-
it and then freeze the center, but not the bacon? Keep the
I
structure.
don't know. We're gonna have to. This might be a multi-part video now. We're gonna have to try like some different things and see what happens. But I think that I don't expect the Twinkie to really survive. To be honest with you, I think that the Twinkie is probably not going to turn out that well.
Really? I think the Twinkie's going to turn out pretty good, actually.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out. I'm gonna try and cover all the cake with bacon so the smoke just doesn't totally overpower everything. But
Oh, I didn't
I'm
think
also,
about that part of it. That's
when
why
I
you're
eat,
the pitmaster.
oh yeah, like soft material stuff like that, it can get intense. But I'm gonna use when I eat Oreos, like I don't play around. Like I get the mega stuff and I get the whole sleeve, like one whole section, and I just get rid of all the cookies but 2, and I just put all the icing and then smush it down.
This is
Yeah.
why you have diabetes.
Yeah, that's why my body is eating itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
Here's another thing. that I've never tried before, but I'm gonna throw it out there. So I've heard of like one of the craziest things I ever tried that was like really good, that was smoked, because I also am like not always like into the smoky flavor, you know?
Yeah.
But it was a smoked grape and it was like really interesting, but they used a cold smoke.
Yeah.
So what about, you have such a delicate thing using a cold smoke instead of a hot smoke or something like that?
That's pretty interesting. If you wrap it in bacon, you have to make it hot enough to cook the bacon, but you could just smoke a regular Oreo or a regular Twinkie and see what it tastes like on a cold smoke. That would be interesting. Find out like what kind of flavor profile that adds for sure. I will tell you this though as well. You were talking about the smoke, like that is a huge mistake that like pitmasters make all the time, or like people budding pitmasters, is they overdo smoke. Like they just smoke the crap out of everything, and like really, I know like the people will argue with this all day, but really like less is more. You know what I'm saying? Like if the smoke is a good accent flavor that like brings out other flavors in the meat. Nobody really wants to eat an ashtray, and that's what like a lot of people are just like, I gotta put 47 chunks of hickory in here, like with this chicken, and then it just blows the flavor out of the water. Like it's just so much smoke that it's like you might as well just like, I don't know, just put your mouth around the chimney and just blow smoke in there. You know what I mean?
I think you said that perfectly about I don't want to eat an ashtray. Like there's so many, especially when it comes to cheeses.
Yeah.
It like, and it tastes like fake. Like I don't know if they're using like liquid smoke or something, but it's just like
It could be.
gross.
You got to be careful with liquid smoke too. It's liquid smoke can definitely overpower stuff too. Like meats like that in general, like hickory and those kind of meats, like it's easy to overpower. Like it's easy to overpower things that um, are not as hardy. You know what I mean?
What is liquid smoke?
So it's basically like what they do is they take, if I understand correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do, is they just run a smoker with the smoke, and then the smoke they get it at a temperature like to where the smoke uh, condensates, and then they basically just kind of collect it, and then that's liquid smoke.
So it's bong water.
It's pitmaster bong water. Exactly.
Ah,
It's very intense.
that
But
would
it's
be-
liquid smoke is weird. I use it in some stuff, but you got to be careful because it probably causes cancer too, and that's probably not safe.
I mean, so do Twinkies. So it's like,
And I'm about to smoke one of those tonight,
yeah.
figuratively, not literally.
And edit though, and edit it the video. Like that's a lot of work in one night. People
We'll
don't
see.
know.
I slammed through it pretty quick. If I might edit it tomorrow, but it'll definitely be up by Thursday.
That's good. That's good. Like this editing shit, man. I do like doing it, but I feel like I go into like a time warp. Like, you were gonna come and talk to me at 2 o'clock or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, 4:30. I got plenty of time. I did no laundry today. That didn't happen. I was just like, all of a sudden, I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, this much through the footage and all this other stuff. And I get like the reminder on my phone, oh, 30 minutes until you thing. And I'm like, what? What time is it?
You're like, it's already happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, such a time warp. I'm just like,
Yeah,
I feel like the same thing when like people play like video games.
yeah, for sure.
Like when I was a kid, I loved Kingdom Hearts. I remember
Yeah.
I played that thing for like 14 hours straight one day.
My friends made fun of me so hard for playing Kingdom Hearts because it was like we were all like in this like Super Madden phase at the time, and then I rented Kingdom Hearts from Blockbuster just because I liked Final Fantasy, and which they made fun of me for too. But when I busted out Goofy, like a game with like Goofy and Mickey Mouse and all these Disney characters, they're like, "What are you doing with your life right now?" And I was like, "Dude, you don't understand. I got this key sword, and I really just got to go back through here and help separate these universes. It's a dire situation for both Disney and Final Fantasy. We got to fix it, you know."
Dude, and you have to get it done before you have to return it to Blockbuster.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I can only afford back then, like I was super broke. I could only afford one, maybe two extra times of running it before I was gonna have to start choosing between that game and ramen noodles.
Yeah, and it's like
Oh,
the late fees.
yeah,
Oh, that people,
not a joke.
kids don't know nowadays. They don't know the
They don't.
struggle.
Yeah, they live in a world like I have a GameFly membership and I just keep it as long as I want.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like Netflix, but for video games. Like you remember how Netflix used to email you, or not email you, they used to mail you out like DVDs.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like I just mail like
Oh,
yeah. Right now I'm just playing a bunch of Switch games from GameFly. It's pretty
why
nice.
doesn't Netflix do that with games?
I don't know. I don't know if they still mail out DVDs anymore.
I'm sure they do. There's some old people.
Maybe.
Like I'm sure it's like in the old contract, like they got to keep like the grandfathered in for a couple people.
Yeah. Well, that's probably where you get the good stuff now because Netflix is all like, they'll release like 20 shows and only one of them doesn't suck. You know what I
I
mean?
know. I was just getting like so annoyed. I was trying to find something to watch, and it was like I also just it makes me mad when they put on like these shows where they're like 98% like that you're gonna like it, and
Yeah.
it's like some sappy like Hallmark movie, and
Right.
I'm like this is, and then I go to my boyfriend's profile, and it's like old school like like Enter the Dragon and shit, and I'm like this
Yeah.
is like profiling. I'm mad.
You can tell like
Like I don't
when
want
I
to watch.
watch it more versus my wife because when she watches it, it's all stuff like Friends in the Office and like Parks and Recreation and all these kind of shows start popping up. But then when I watch it, it's all like weird movies like the Cloverfield Paradox or like District 9. It's all like sci-fi movies and about aliens and
Yeah, all mine is
different
sci-fi. But
dimension.
I'm just like, I feel like when it doesn't know what to give me, it gives me like generic like female movie.
It's
Like
like you're a girl, so we're gonna go ahead and give you this love movie over here.
yeah, or like women or movies with a strong female lead is like one of the categories.
Yeah,
And I'm like, this isn't on Noel's profile. Who the fuck?
yeah,
But he gets like all the black people stuff, so it's funny. I'm like, how
yeah.
do they know? How do they
That's
know?
awesome. It's like it's like the that's just totally like gender and race profile everybody right to death. They're just like,
Yeah,
look how it
that's
look.
graphics.
Yeah, that's
But
funny.
yeah, but it works. You gotta figure out how to do that on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know. YouTube's crazy, but I'm like, it's weird. Like, so my old videos are starting to like get steady views. Like before, like I remember I released like this video on beef knuckle, and I got like 100 and like maybe 100 or 120 views like the first week it was out, and now it gets like 100 views like it's like constantly getting like 50 to 100 views, which I know is nothing compared to like somebody who is big, right? But like to me, I'm like, dang, that's crazy. Like I'm not even doing anything to it, and it's just constantly getting views. So if you had like 100 videos that get 50 to 100 views every 48 hours, that's a decent amount of views for a nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get that many views. I have less subscribers than you do. So thanks for coming on.
Oh,
But
I'm stoked that you wanted to talk to me, to be honest with you. So it's cool. No, I always too like I try. I actually I promised somebody I'd do a collab with them, and I've been like really crappy about it. So I need to make sure I get that done. But like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Small creators got to stick together, right? Like so.
yeah, we're one more big creators.
Hopefully, if you know, I don't know if I ever have like some crazy amount of subscribers, like I'm just gonna go around YouTube and look for people with like 10 subscribers, like who are doing something cool, and be like, hey, do you want to be on my video? You know, see if
I
it
feel
works
like
out.
they need more of that because there's so much like I see some videos that I'm like, this is like awful. Like I remember watching this cheese making video and it was just like it was not good, but there wasn't a lot of people doing it, I guess. Like it was literally like it wasn't edited at all. It was just like the camera there. It was and then this lady like making cheese, but she wasn't being sanitary about it. And it
Yeah,
was like driving me crazy and it had like millions of views. And it wasn't like people saying you shouldn't do it this way. You know what I mean? It wasn't like trolls and outrage. It was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to try to make cheese now. And I'm like, no, you're going to get sick.
this is the dopest thing I've ever seen. That
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm super organized, and like I try to be. Like if you ever look at my if you look at my set, like over on one side of my shelf, sometimes you can see it, and literally everything is in labeled plastic containers. So like it's like extra, like it'll be like beater knives, it'll be like
So
mandarin supplies, like
I'm gonna cut you off right there because I was the first video I watched, I saw your shelf with that, and I was like, okay, this guy's legit. I'm gonna say let's do this. That was what got me. I was like, I see that label date refrigerator over there. Like, let's do this.
yeah, like I get I'm so weird about everything. I'm like everything has to be like organized, and like in my refrigerator, like everything is laid out together. Like like here's like a row of hot sauces, like newest to, or oldest to newest, like you know what I mean. So like everything is in like a perfect row,
The
and
FIFO, you gotta do
yeah,
first in, first out. You gotta have the ready to eat on top, down to
yeah,
like the raw stuff. Like, I agree with you.
organization, all of that. Like it's
Yeah,
you know cleanliness is godliness and whatnot, right?
yeah. You got time to lean, you got time to clean.
I know like my employees get like I know they get frustrated because I'll walk in and I'll be like, this floor is a little bit slippery. Maybe we didn't mop it hard enough. You know, like or oh dude, oh my gosh, if I pick a dish up if it's on the shelf and that bad boy is greasy, it's not good.
That's good because then, once you learn if you do it right the first time, you don't have to do it again. You
And if
know.
you just do it, like just clean it right and get it over with, and then it's done, and you don't have to go back and re-clean it. You don't have to scrape crap off of it. Like just get it while you can. Sorry, my whole system just went haywire over here. But yeah, no, you just I forgot what I was talking about. I'm lost now.
We're talking about teaching your children the the
Uh,
benefit of doing something right the first time.
yeah, it's just in general, you got to teach them. Like you'd be surprised, like how many grown-ups you got to teach that stuff too. Like
Oh
you know,
yeah.
like my grandpa once told me, like, my grandpa always was like getting stuff done and doing like crazy stuff all the time, and like he was so like detailed and so good about everything that he like his work was like impeccable on everything. But he told me that he was lazy. He was like, oh no, I'm very lazy, but I just understand that in order to be lazy, I have to do it right the first time. So I don't have to come back and do it 2, 3 times. Like he's like, I'm gonna make sure I get it done the first time, so then I can move on to something else, or then I can watch TV, or then I can do that. So he had like he did woodworking, and he had this like awesome wood shop, and he was just so like such a perfectionist, and he was so patient too, because he was just like his big thing was scroll sawing. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like this, it's basically like a table that has like a little saw blade that goes through it, and it like goes up and down, and you like it's just a very thin saw, and you use it to make like very intricate cuts. um, and he could cut these things, like these details were like paper thin, right? And normally like the saw movement would break those off if you're not extremely careful, but he would just sit there just little by little, barely, it looked like he wasn't even moving, and he would just get it, and I'd be in there jamming, breaking blades and tearing up stuff because I'm like, no, we just got to get it done. And he's like, just chill out, man, one time.
Do you smoke a lot of weed?
No, he would he would definitely was not a fan of the substance. I saw him drink a Heineken from time to time.
You're
That
like,
was my
oh,
grandpa
grandpa's
getting,
getting crazy. Watch out.
yeah, he was getting, that was him getting crazy on pizza night. He was just like, here's a Heineken. And I don't even know that he might have not even drank the whole Heineken. He's a madman. Yeah.
That's awesome. Who's that? Who's that in the background? Who's driving me crazy?
Where? Oh
Who's
yeah.
this?
This is Bruce Pritchard. This is a guy named Conrad Thompson. So I used to have more pictures here, but I was moving them around. Like I wrote a comic book once, and like this is my comic book. This is like a graded version of my comic book. You can't really see it because I got lights everywhere.
The dead
That's like a
girl?
graded version.
Did you do the artwork too?
No, a guy named Scott Simmons did the artwork. Like he does artwork and stuff for like Star Wars trading cards and stuff like that. But
Jack of all trades over here.
yeah, I guess unfortunately I'm master of none until I decided to stop doing everything. You know,
That's not
like I
true.
would get
You're a
these
pit master.
now, but you know, like I would get these ideas and I'd be like, oh, I got to do everything. Like if I have an idea, I have to do it, right? But then I realized like you're never going to be good at anything. Like if you don't take the time, like if you're just so fragmented, you know, like, so like for instance with these guys, I used to do their they have a podcast like I think that it still is, but at one point in time it was like the #1 sports podcast, but it was just about, so Bruce Pritchard used to be he was Brother Love in the WWF back in the day, and he was like the vice president. He was and he is like right now he's a vice president at WWE again, but he has this podcast, and so I helped with their YouTube stuff. Like I would go through and like program all their SEO and optimize all their stuff for monetization and stuff like that.
So you know, like you really know how to do all that. Like,
I mean, I don't know. It worked for them. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty good. Like I'm at 606 subscribers, and I started in March. So I'm
I
at, like,
mean, like you have do you have like computer training, like to code and SEO and stuff, or you just picked it up?
no, I guess I just figured it out to some degree. I don't know.
It's like people who hire somebody for SEO that doesn't have credentials.
You just gotta put your money where your mouth is sometimes. Like, luckily, like those things are like still, they're still kind of like the Wild West. Like nobody knows how the algorithm works for real, except for like 2 people, and then they're not going to tell you how. So it's all just guesswork. You just try stuff out until you figure it out. Like look for trends in other videos and things like that. Like I use TubeBuddy. So if you go to like tubebuddy.com/skull and mortar, then I get like a little cut of that. So, but I use TubeBuddy a lot to see like what other people use and like other videos that are successful use. And
I have TubeBuddy, and I feel like it lies to me.
I don't know.
It's just because it doesn't work on so many of the things. Like it actually doesn't. No, I don't mean like it doesn't work in the sense that like I put a tagger and it doesn't get it. I mean it like it physically doesn't fucking work. Like it's
Yeah.
blank and it doesn't work. Drives me nuts.
So I think what I use it for mostly is I use it to like I'll do a search term like for like smoked turkey, and I'll see like what the most popular search terms are. Like I'll go to YouTube and I'll type it in the regular search, and then I'll see like what the most popular related search terms are and like compare like the all that information, and then that's kind of what I base my like my title around. I don't even think that the keywords really matter that much anymore. I think it's from what I understand now, it's just like it's mostly like your title, your description, and your thumbnail. Like those are the things that the algorithm supposedly looks at. But just in case, I just hammer it with keywords as much as possible.
Yeah.
It's because you know who really knows. Like I'll see. I don't want to look at that one because my new one doesn't have that many views. But like on my turkey video, like I'm ranked on like 6 or 7 terms. So then I'll go through and like kind of try to find stuff that's like more in line with that stuff, you know.
But back to the podcast thing. So you were doing the sports? What does that have to do with the comic book? Now I lost my train of thought.
Oh, I know. I just had the comic book was on the wall. Now it's not. Like I'm moving stuff around. That's why there's just like one random weird picture just hanging out like for no reason right there.
I thought that was Grandpa. It's pretty like blurry, so I don't know how old that guy is, but I was like, that could be Grandpa.
Yeah, no, I don't have I have an old Navy picture of him up there, but
Is
no,
that you?
where?
Is it like is
No.
that you in the black?
No, that's Conrad Thompson. We're just 2 fat guys with beards. So we all look the same. Like I always get that people are like, "You look like Kevin Smith." No, I do not look like Kevin Smith.
You don't look like Kevin Smith.
Yeah, we don't look even remotely similar. But like, it's been like, or people would be like, "Oh, you look like Jeff Saturday." Like he was the center of the Colts. I don't look like Jeff Saturday either. They're just saying that because we're like big guys with beards. You know what I'm saying? I don't look like.
It's the look nowadays. Big guys with beards.
Yeah.
And the glasses. You got the whole thing.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: if you're not a big guy with a beard and tattoos, can you even make a vinaigrette?
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah, I can make a vinaigrette.
But I mean, I'm saying if you're a guy and you're not big, I guess I gotta like make it more specific so as
Why
not
is
to.
a vinaigrette not? What does a vinaigrette have to do with anything?
I don't know. It just seemed funny. Like, I mean, what's the like when you see like a big burly guy, like, do you expect them to like whip out like just a badass raspberry vinaigrette?
No, I expect him to whip out ranch dressing.
There you go. But then, I mean, I don't know where I was originally going with this, but I feel self-conscious.
Vinaigrette's too healthy.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe a raspberry ranch. That sounds horrible. Like
Raspberry ranch dressing?
Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all.
Raspberry ranch dressing?
I don't think it sounds good to me.
I'm trying to think of. No, it doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
But maybe raspberry and tzatziki sauce.
Right, so that might be good. My son does not like tzatziki. Like, I don't know if you saw any videos with my son in it, but he always cracks on me all the time. Like when he's I'll give him some food and he'll just look like he'll just look so disgusted. I'm like, here's a lamb burger, here's a lamb feta burger with tzatziki sauce on it, and he'll look at it and he'll just stare at it for a minute. And he'll be like, this better not have mayonnaise in it. I'm like, no, it's Greek yogurt. And he'll take a bite of it and like he'll like take a couple bites and he just looks so revolted on his face. He's like, the burger's good, but the sauce is gross. I'm like, ouch. I'll leave it in.
How old is he? He's got some awesome hair though, I gotta say.
Yeah, he's 12, which
He's
is crazy.
12?
Yeah, he's almost 6 feet tall.
Oh my! I thought you were gonna say he was like 15, 16.
No, yeah, he's 12. Like it's crazy.
How are you very tall? I can tell.
I'm like 6'1". So he's almost as tall as me. He's probably about like 5'10", 5'10 and a half, like in that range.
Wow, that's
Yeah, he's
very tall for a 12-year-old.
Yeah, he's one of the tallest kids in his class, but he's probably like when I have a video that I think might be boring, I just put him in there because then he just is in the background making dumb faces and like he like he did like he was doing some weird thing where he's like I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like put your tongue in your mouth, dude. Nobody wants to see that. I was like, I don't know. I was like, that stuff is creepy. But then I left it in the video because even though it is a little creepy, it's still funny.
Yeah,
So
it's
I was
so
like,
funny.
yeah, if it's me doing it, it's not funny. It's just all creepy. But if it's him doing it, it's kind of funny. You know, you're like, he's got moxie, and I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I put my boyfriend in the videos because because he'll do stuff to just like mess me up, but he doesn't think like it got to the point where he's like he wouldn't he did it's like she's not gonna put this in the on the actual video. She's gonna edit this out. I'm just like, nope, nope.
Nope, it's in there. It's in there for life now.
You're a movie star now. So
Yeah. That's funny. That's like you can tell whenever I start to think a video is boring, I'm like, he'll get some laughs, so I just throw him in there. And he I told him that, and he's like, you're using me for views? And I was like, yes, I
Yeah.
mean, definitely, that's what's happening here. But I also got to pay for your college, so help me out here, man.
that's
You know?
true. That's true.
My older kids never want to be in my videos, so he's the only one.
Did you are you like set on the kids going to college thing? Is
What's
that a
that?
thing? Is that still a thing? I was wondering now that I've been out of school for so long, like I'm starting to be like it was so expensive and I'm like, I don't know if I would send my kids to college.
It's just I think that college is like I hope this is going to come back to bite me, I'm sure, but I think that college is like a huge scam. I think that it's like this huge like, and not for everything. I mean, obviously, if you want to be a doctor, you need to go to college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to be a surgeon, you need that college. But like, for instance, I mean, you don't really have to go to school to do what I do for a living. You know what I mean? Like I didn't go to
Yeah.
school to learn any of that. I went to school for social work. You know what I mean? So you don't have to go to school to be good at that. I'm sure that it's good. I'm sure that it helps. I mean, sometimes I wish I would have gone, but you can learn the skills by practical application and starting at the bottom and working up. Stuff like you don't need to go to a 4-year college to fix cars. Like you should go to a trade school. Like you should go to a program that focuses on what you're doing. I think that a lot of times it's like they just try to like bulk up the bill as much as possible and put you in as much debt as possible. So you're stuck in this perpetual loop of borrowing and spending. Like my older son, he's 16. He doesn't want to go to college. He wants to go to trade school. And I'm all right with that. Like as long as he does something, like he needs to get training, like he needs to get a skill. Like he can't just be like, I'm going to quit school and do nothing. Like I can't support that. I can't be like, oh, I'm not going to college. I'm just going to work at the gas station forever, which is cool. Like if that's what you do and you're happy, like that's awesome. But it's a tough life to work at a gas station full time.
Well, also you can't make a living wage.
Yeah.
Like that. That's the real problem. Like, I mean, I feel like when my parents were my age, like you could work at a grocery store and make a living wage. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And pay your rent and shit and have a kid. Like,
right.
No, you can't do that.
Right.
Like, my mom had found one of her old like check balancing books from back when you had to do that on a piece of paper.
Right.
And they had a three bedroom apartment for $650 a month.
Yeah. That's
90s, like 90 when I was born, I guess. So 91. I was like, bro,
sure.
What? I have a 2-bedroom and it's cheap. This is cheap for where I live. It's $12.75.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would pay $12.75 for a 2-bedroom if it's close to if I can get to the beach in like 30 minutes.
I can get to the beach in like 10 minutes because
I'm 100% in. That's like my whole that's all I want my whole life is just to wake up and smell ocean air every day.
You definitely don't smell the ocean air over here. We're not.
But you can.
You smell the rich people's farts, but
Yeah, it's like, in 10 minutes though you can get there, right?
10 minutes you can get there.
You said you're in West Palm Beach?
Yeah.
How far is that from Clearwater?
It's on the other side of Florida.
On the on the ocean side?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Florida. I go all the time because we used to go to California like nonstop, but it's so much more expensive to go to California from here. I mean, it would
Oh, yeah.
cost me like $2,500 in plane tickets at least, versus I can drive to Clearwater in like 14 hours.
That's
It's not
still a
too
long
bad.
time
I don't mind.
to go to the beach. Well,
I
being
do
from New
it.
Jersey, like the farthest we ever had to drive to go to the beach too was 4 hours maybe if we were going like down to Wildwood. But you could get to a beach in an hour and a half, my whole life. But winter is a thing up there.
Yeah,
Which
winter sucks.
I like winter as long as you don't have to shovel. But
I'm not down.
I also don't not like shoveling either. That's the thing. I like shoveling when I don't have to get somewhere. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of winters at all. I can't deal with it. But it's
But you're a
that's
burly
literally
man
my
with a beard. You're supposed to love winter.
no. I just want to live. I tell you, I just want to live in a van, and I want to cook barbecue on the beach. That's it. I don't want to. I don't even want a house. Nothing. Just a van. Just me and my
Yeah.
wife traveling in a van, cooking barbecue randomly, making YouTube videos. Even be pretty cool.
Like they make some pretty sick RVs now. It's just like a tour bus. It's like a
Yeah.
mansion. You can do that.
We bought a Ram ProMaster that we're turning into a camper, like a stealth camper, so I can just sleep at Walmart. So yeah, that's my goal.
What makes it stealth? Are you gonna put camouflage on it?
No, it just looks like a work van from the outside. So it just looks
Oh,
like
that's like a creepy van though.
yeah, you have to get over that. Like mentally, there's like a hurdle you have to clear for that. But it is what it
Change the
is.
look up.
Yeah, it's a means to an end. You know what I mean? But I actually got to get running because I gotta switch out some stuff on the smoker.
Oh yeah, and you have to make your video, and it's like 6 o'clock or something like that.
Oh yeah, I just might not edit it today. We'll see. I'm gonna try.
All right, well, I mean, now everyone's got to go see that video, so I'll link it to this video so people can just like watch on through. There we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And make sure you give me all your links and your descriptions and all that shit. And feel like I could just keep talking to you for another like 2 hours. So I'll definitely come back on later.
Yeah, we'll do it again sometime. Like, let me know when you need a guest. We'll work it out.
All right,
Be
and
fun.
I'll actually write down my questions about barbecue this time. So good.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, awesome. That was good. It's good to talk to you. I appreciate you having me on.
All right.
All right, have a good one. Bye.